The Bartlett-Fleming family has been the backbone of Heartland for generations. Their story has always been about more than just horses and ranch life. It has been about love, sacrifice, and the unshakable bond of family. But the truth is, that bond has been tested again and again, sometimes almost breaking completely. At the center of it all is Jack Bartlett, the quiet yet strong leader of the family. Jack has been the steady hand guiding Heartland through its toughest storms. He has seen his family torn apart before, and he knows how quickly anger and resentment can grow into walls that seem impossible to climb. His greatest fear has always been watching the family he built crumble from the inside. Beside Jack stands Amy Fleming, the granddaughter who inherited not only the ranch but also the gift of healing horses. Amy has carried the weight of the Heartland name since she was a teenager. She has been through heartbreak, loss, and change, but her dedication to Heartland has never faded. Yet even Amy, with all her strength, finds herself at the center of new disagreements. She must balance her role as a mother with her duty to the ranch. And that balance is beginning to shake the foundation of her relationships. Then there's Lou Fleming, Amy's older sister, whose role has always been complicated. Lou has tried to lead with structure and responsibility, but sometimes her decisions have left others questioning her judgment. She wants what's best for Heartland, but her vision doesn't always match Amy's. And when sisters disagree, the ranch feels the weight of it. Of course, we can't forget Tim Fleming, their father. Tim has always been unpredictable. His heart might be in the right place, but his choices often leave scars that take years to heal. He's a man constantly trying to prove himself, but in doing so, he sometimes pushes his family away. In season 19, Tim's actions once again stir up conflict that puts him at odds with the very people he loves most. The Bartlett-Fleming family's story isn't just about them. It's about the next generation too: Georgie, Katie, and Lyndy, who are beginning to find their own voices, their own dreams, and their own struggles. The decisions the older generation makes will directly shape the lives of the younger ones, which means every fight, every mistake, and every moment of division matters more than ever. As we step into season 19, we aren't just revisiting a family we've grown to love. We're stepping into a storm. The Bartlett-Flemings have been here before. They've argued, disagreed, and even turned their backs on each other. But this time, the cracks run deeper. This time, reconciliation may not come so easily. The legacy of the Bartlett-Fleming family is one of resilience. But how much can resilience endure before it turns into silence, distance, and broken trust? As Heartland enters this new chapter, one thing is certain: division is no longer just a memory of the past. It's a challenge of the present. And the choices they make now will decide not just the future of the ranch, but the future of the family itself. The Bartlett-Fleming family has always lived on the edge of love and conflict. For years, they've found ways to come back together when everything seemed lost. But now, in season 19, the cracks in their bond are wider than ever. What begins as small disagreements quickly turns into a storm threatening to pull them apart once again. The heart of the storm is Amy. She has always been the calm center of Heartland, the one people turn to when the world feels too heavy. But lately, even Amy feels the pressure. Balancing her role as a mother to Lyndy with the never-ending demands of the ranch is pushing her to her limits. Every decision she makes seems to spark questions. Has she lost sight of what Heartland truly needs? For the first time, Amy begins to wonder if she's holding on to the ranch for herself or for the family legacy. And that doubt only makes the divide deeper. On the other side of the ranch, Lou faces her own battles. As mayor and as a sister, she has tried to lead with strength and vision. But leadership has its price. Her plans for growth and change clash with Amy's desire to hold on to tradition. What Lou sees as progress, Amy sees as disruption. Their arguments are no longer about small details, they're about the very future of Heartland itself. For two sisters who have already been through so much, this rift feels more personal than ever. And then comes Tim, known for his impulsive choices. Tim's latest decisions ignite tension that spreads through the family like wildfire. He wants to protect the ranch, but his way of doing things often leaves others feeling betrayed or shut out. His stubbornness, mixed with his history of mistakes, makes every word he says carry extra weight. In season 19, Tim's actions once again force his family to question where his loyalty truly lies and whether his pride will cost them more than they can afford to lose. Through it all, Jack tries to stand as the pillar of strength. But even pillars can crack. Jack has spent years patching up fights, soothing tempers, and reminding his family that love is stronger than anger. Yet in this season, even Jack begins to feel worn down. Watching Amy and Lou argue, watching Tim repeat old patterns, it's a reminder of battles he thought were long behind them. For the first time, Jack isn't sure if he can keep everyone together. And that uncertainty shakes the very foundation of Heartland. But perhaps the most striking part of this conflict is how it reaches the younger generation. Katie, Georgie, and Lyndy may not be leading the ranch, but they are watching closely. They see the fractures, they hear the arguments, and they feel the tension. These young hearts are caught in the middle of battles they didn't start, and their futures may be shaped by choices they never asked for. In them lies the question, will they inherit a ranch filled with love and unity, or one divided by years of unhealed wounds? This isn't just another fight. It's not a single misunderstanding that will vanish overnight. This is about pride clashing with tradition, leadership colliding with loyalty, and the heavy weight of family history pressing down on each member of the Bartlett-Fleming clan. And as season 19 unfolds, the ranch is no longer just a place of healing, it becomes the battlefield where love, loyalty, and stubborn pride fight for dominance. The Bartlett-Flemings are no strangers to conflict. But this time, the storm feels bigger, darker, and more dangerous. And the truth is, not everyone may come out of it unchanged. Every family fight leaves behind more than angry words. It leaves scars, memories that echo long after the shouting stops. In Heartland season 19, the Bartlett-Fleming family isn't just facing arguments, they're facing the possibility of losing the very things that have kept them together for generations. The emotional stakes are higher than ever because this time, everything they hold dear could be torn away. For Amy, the ranch is more than land and fences, it's her safe place, her link to her mother, and the legacy she's fought to protect since she was a teenager. But the cost of carrying that weight is beginning to show. If the fights continue, Amy risks not only losing the support of her family but also the bond she's trying to build with her daughter, Lyndy. A child can feel when a parent is distracted, and Lyndy is already noticing the cracks. If Amy can't find balance, she may protect the ranch but lose something far more fragile, the trust of her little girl. For Lou, every decision she makes is about proving she can lead, not just as a mayor but as a sister and daughter too. But with every bold move she takes, she finds herself further from the people she's trying to protect. If Lou's vision for the ranch pushes her family away, what will it matter if her plans succeed? Success feels empty when it comes at the cost of love. Lou risks becoming the very thing she's always feared, the one who wanted control so badly that she lost the family she was trying to save. Then there's Tim, who carries years of mistakes on his back like heavy chains. His fight is never just about the present, it's about proving he has changed, that he's not the man who once let everyone down. But in trying so hard to prove himself, he sometimes repeats the very mistakes he swore he'd never make again. For Tim, the emotional stakes are brutal. Every wrong choice threatens to undo years of slow forgiveness. And this time, forgiveness might not come so easily. Even Jack, the strongest of them all, is at risk of breaking. He has held this family together through death, heartbreak, and betrayal. But now, as he watches new wounds being created, the weight becomes too much. Jack is haunted by one question. How many times can he patch this family back together before the cracks become permanent? If he can't stop the fighting, Jack risks watching the home he built with love and sweat turn into nothing more than a battlefield of broken hearts. And then, in the shadows of all this, the next generation feels the impact most of all. Katie, Georgie, and Lyndy are standing at the edge of their futures, but those futures are being shaped by the chaos of the present. Georgie has dreams that might take her far from Heartland, but how can she leave when her family is falling apart? Katie is still searching for her voice, but what kind of voice will grow out of so much division? And Lyndy, too young to understand the full picture, may grow up with memories not of love and unity, but of silence, tension, and distance. The emotional stakes are not just about money, land, or responsibility. They are about love, trust, and belonging. They are about whether this family will be able to look at each other years from now and still see connection instead of resentment. Every choice they make now will decide whether the Bartlett-Flemings pass down a legacy of strength or a warning of how love can be lost. This is more than just another season of challenges. This is a season where the very soul of the family is on the line. And for the Bartlett-Flemings, losing each other would be a loss greater than anything Heartland has ever faced before. In every story, there comes a moment where words are no longer enough, where silence, choices, and actions speak louder than anything else. For the Bartlett-Fleming family in season 19, those moments are closer than ever, waiting like storms on the horizon. And when they arrive, they will change everything. The first turning point comes at the ranch itself, the place that has always been a symbol of healing. But now, Heartland becomes the backdrop for confrontation. Amy and Lou, standing only a few feet apart, find themselves on opposite sides of a vision for the ranch. Their words are sharp, their emotions raw, and in that moment, the audience is forced to ask, can two sisters love each other and still disagree so deeply? Or will the ranch they both treasure become the very thing that pulls them apart? Then there is Tim. His choices echo like thunder, stirring up past pain and fresh anger. One decision in particular, an attempt to prove his worth, threatens to unravel the fragile trust he has spent years rebuilding. The family's patience runs thin, and suddenly, Tim is no longer just fighting for respect, he is fighting to prove that his place in this family has not already slipped through his fingers. Jack, the steady anchor, faces perhaps the hardest turning point of all. For decades, he has carried the role of peacemaker. But as the storm rises, even Jack begins to question whether peace is still possible. His breaking point arrives quietly, not in a shout but in a silence that cuts deeper than words. When Jack begins to doubt, the whole family feels the weight of it. The question becomes, if Jack lets go, who will hold them all together? And through it all, the younger voices rise. Katie and Georgie, caught between loyalty and independence, begin to choose their own paths. Their choices, though small compared to the older generations, carry the power to shape the family's future. Lyndy, with her innocent eyes, stands as a reminder of what is truly at stake. Every fight, every decision, every heartbreak, she absorbs it all, even if she doesn't yet understand it. She represents the hope that the family might still come through this storm stronger, but she also represents the risk of what could be lost forever. Season 19 does not offer easy answers. Instead, it offers questions that will echo long after each episode ends. Will love be enough to overcome pride? Will the bond of blood be strong enough to survive the battles of the heart? Or will the Bartlett-Fleming family become a memory of what once was, divided by choices they can never take back? And so, we leave the story standing on the edge of its greatest cliffhanger yet. The family is divided once again, but this time, the wounds cut deeper, the stakes rise higher, and the storm feels impossible to escape. As the dust settles on Heartland, one truth remains. The future of the Bartlett-Fleming family will be decided not by the past they carry, but by the choices they make now. The question is simple yet haunting. Will they rise together, or fall apart forever? Every great story doesn't just unfold on the screen, it lives in the hearts of those who watch it. Heartland has never been just a show about horses or ranch life. It has always been about us, about families everywhere who know what it means to love deeply, to argue fiercely, and to struggle to stay connected when life pulls us apart. That is why the Bartlett-Fleming story feels so personal, so real. Season 19 asks us to think about our own lives. How many times have we faced disagreements that felt impossible to mend? How many times have we been caught between holding onto tradition and chasing something new? How many times have we risked losing the people we love most, not because we stopped caring, but because we cared in different ways? The Bartlett-Flemings are divided once again, but in truth, every family carries its own divisions. Some are spoken in heated arguments. Some live quietly in the spaces where love has been tested. And yet, like the Bartlett-Flemings, we all stand at a crossroads. Do we let pride win, or do we let love guide us back to each other? This is where you, the audience, become part of the story. Whose side do you find yourself on? Do you agree with Amy, clinging to the roots of tradition? Or do you stand with Lou, fighting for progress and change? Do you forgive Tim, knowing his heart is in the right place? Or do you believe his mistakes weigh too heavily to overlook? And what about Jack? Should he keep fighting to hold everyone together? Or has he done enough already? Your thoughts, your feelings, your voices matter here. Because in a story like this, the power of connection doesn't just belong to the characters, it belongs to the fans who carry their story forward. So, as Heartland moves deeper into this season, remember that this isn't only a story about division. It's a story about choice, about hope, and about the belief that even the deepest wounds can heal. And maybe, just maybe, it's a reminder for all of us that families, no matter how fractured, are worth fighting for. The Bartlett-Fleming family stands at a breaking point. But the question that lingers, one that only time will answer, is this: will this storm tear them apart for good? Or will it finally teach them how strong they truly are when they choose to stand together? And now, it's your turn. Share your thoughts in the comments. Who do you stand with in this family divide? What do you think will happen next? And most of all, do you believe the Bartlett-Flemings can still find their way back to each other? Because the story may be written on screen, but its heartbeat continues with you. Every season of Heartland has left behind a trail of lessons, heartbreaks, and small victories. But season 19 feels different. It doesn't just bring back the old wounds, it dares to ask what happens when those wounds never truly heal. The Bartlett-Fleming family has reached a point where every choice echoes louder than before, shaping not only the present but also the future of Heartland itself. What lies ahead is not just conflict, but transformation. Families don't remain the same forever, they evolve, they fracture, and sometimes they rebuild into something even stronger. For Amy, the future whispers of a test far greater than the ranch itself. Can she continue to carry the weight of her mother's dream while forging a life that truly belongs to her and Lyndy? If she chooses one, what will she lose in the other? For Lou, the horizon holds both opportunity and danger. She has always wanted to lead, to push forward, to build something lasting. But the question remains, will her legacy be one of unity? Or will it be remembered as the moment when ambition pulled her family apart? Tim's future feels like a coin tossed into the air. He could finally find redemption, or he could repeat the cycle of disappointment that has haunted him for decades. What side that coin lands on may decide whether the family can forgive, or finally give up on him. And Jack, steadfast, unwavering Jack, faces the cruel truth that even the strongest hearts cannot fight forever. His future is not just about holding his family together, but about passing down wisdom that will outlast him. If he cannot guide them now, who will stand as the voice of reason when he no longer can? But perhaps the most powerful whisper belongs to the younger generation. Georgie's dreams may take her far away. Katie is still shaping her place in the world. And Lyndy, the youngest of them all, is growing up in the middle of this storm. Their futures are unwritten, but their lives are being shaped by every moment of division and reconciliation happening now. They are the torchbearers of the Bartlett-Fleming name. And whether that torch burns bright or fades into ashes depends on what happens in this very season. Season 19 is not just about a family divided, it is about a family standing at the edge of change. And as the future whispers through the fields of Heartland, one haunting truth lingers: sometimes love is not enough to hold a family together. Sometimes it takes sacrifice. Sometimes it takes loss. And sometimes it takes a choice no one is ready to make. So as we look ahead, one question remains: when the dust of season 19 finally settles, what will be left standing? The ranch? The family? Or only the memories of what once was?